Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Alessandro Crimi, and I just moved to the Italian Institute of Technology, but I was previously at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology and also at the institute in Ghana. And I'm going to tell you about, where do I have to point? Oh. Yes. I'm going to tell you about two projects I have been interested. One that started actually as a cooperation between the Swiss Institute of Technology and the African Institute of Mathematical Science in Ghana about prenatal care, and then how we moved from that, from trying to use also drones in the same context. And then I focused briefly about what are our ideas about artificial visions and what is our states of the projects. So the story started that probably, as you can imagine, in some low-income countries, there is a shortage of medical staff in rural areas. So if you're in a big city, the situation is more or less okay, but the moment you go outside, the world is changing completely. In fact, even in Ghana, which is one of the most promising countries in West Africa, the infant mortality is still high, and one of the reasons is also that prenatal care is very poor. One of the reasons is that the women don't have time to go to an urban area to do some checks, and these have several complications, and also they tend to don't deliver at home. They tend to don't deliver in the hospital. They tend to deliver at home with all the problems they can encounter. So one of the issues we noticed was transportation. So they didn't have. There are very bad roads with completely lack of transportation means. So the thing with the initial idea we had is to go to some rural areas between two big cities, but they were enough in the middle of nowhere for us. And we selected some of this area, and for each village we chose a person that was supposed to monitor and to give some advice. And this is done because it's been proved that someone from the village is more convincing than someone like me going there and telling what to do. And this person was equipped with a mobile phone and was registering and reporting eventual also dangerous case and so on. And the registration was used by us to have to know some kind of the situations and to know when to do something else. In the sense that even with the woman pushing the pregnant ladies to do some scans or to go to the hospital to deliver, they were not doing it a lot. So what we came up with the idea was to have some kind of portable scan that we were acquiring some images and we were sent remotely to a doctor in an urban area. So it was just a portable ultrasound scan that we just hacked with a GSM to send immediately the picture. And these are the ladies. And this is an example of one of the consultations that, let's call consultation, that they were giving to a pregnant woman in rural areas. And we used two versions, one extremely cheap Nokia mobile phone to report this information, and also a more advanced version with just some very low-cost Android mobile phones. And this is how the app was looking like. So they could either register a woman, and we were seeing the list, or they were, among the registered women, they can also select some case they were noticing. So these ladies, they were not doctors, they were not nurses, they were just receiving some small training, and we were just telling them, okay, if you see something wrong, follow this app and follow the instructions. So for example, if the woman they were choosing one of these signs, the woman they were receiving afterwards some instruction, like bring immediately the woman to the healthcare. And at the same time, we were receiving some feedback. So from the server side, this is what we were seeing. So we were just, we could see how many women were registered, and also eventually if there was something dangerous to follow up. We were using this to plan when to go and to acquire some ultrasound scans. And the ultrasound scan, again, they were also not done by a doctor. They were also done by another person that we were just training for 15 hours to acquire the scans. So they were not even a doctor. They just knew where to look and then how to press the button to send to the doctor in the big cities. And despite the very low money I had from ETH to do this entire story, at least as a pilot project was kind of successful. So we showed that it's possible to create, to improve the prenatal care locally. In fact, we noticed that comparing with other situations in other communities we were following, there has been an increase of 20% of prenatal visits, and also we detect some dangerous cases of pregnancies, like ectopic pregnancies and beach pregnancies. So this also gave the idea to do something more about, because it's not just the transportation of the woman to the clinic, but the transportation of many other things, like for example medicines. And probably, as you have seen yesterday, I was not here, but I guess you heard about some drones doing the possibility of doing artificial vision, and we were trying to do this, where our main focus was to deliver medicines avoiding obstacles, because the main problem is that either you drive a drone, so you're limited by the connection, or you send a GPS, you put some GPS coordinates, and whatever happens, if there is a tree, a building is going through. So what we were trying to do, initial test, we also started with the parrot drone, and to see how we can have some kind of autonomous flights just using simple stuff that can be put on a parrot, like optical flow or template matching. And unfortunately, we noticed that the parrot is a toy. I'm sorry, but because it can add just a very limited payload, and also we even tried in Ghana itself, and the wind was so strong that it was not even able to move. So we noticed that it was a good proof of concept, but it's not impractical. It's nice in indoor, but in a real-world scenario, was not possible to operate. So currently we are building our own. We tried this time. We went to the other opposite of the spectrum. We put something that's called a bubble bead camera to have precise information about the object that they were in front of us, if there was an obstacle that we are supposed to avoid or not. And for the moment, it's promising. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to go to Ghana yet to prove this, and I thought we will be further with the pilots before coming here, but the current state is we just tried locally in Italy. I haven't been in Ghana to try this. And another case we were considering to do also is a strange situation we noticed in Malawi from another organization I'm in contact, that they told me that there is a very big problem in some islands that they have, because substantially they are completely disconnected, and everything they have to carry is done also with the boats. So another thing we will do is to try and pilot using drones delivering medicine and trying directly connecting something like these two disconnected islands. Okay, thank you.